Hello, and welcome to the second episode in our video series on smart bidding. My name is Ben Carl, and I'm a developer relations engineer on the Google Ads API. In this video, we'll go into more detail about two smart bidding strategies, MaximizeConversions and MaximizeConversionValue. If you haven't already watched episode 1, I encourage you to do so because it covers some of the basic details about smart bidding that we'll build upon here. A link is included in the description of the video. Before looking at specific bidding strategy types, let's review the three ways in which bidding strategies can be applied to a campaign. Standard bidding strategies, the most fine-grained way to apply a bidding strategy, are applied directly to a single campaign by setting the Campaign Bidding Strategy One-of field. The benefit of these strategies is they provide more granularity to customize bidding behavior for individual campaigns. But the trade-off is an increased maintenance cost if you want to manage multiple campaigns. Portfolio bidding strategies are created at the client account level using the Bidding Strategy Services Mutate Bidding Strategies method. The resource name of the newly created bidding strategies are then applied to one or more campaigns using the Campaign Bidding Strategy field, which is one of the possible fields under the Campaign Bidding Strategy One-of field. This bidding strategy type is less granular than standard types, but has a lower maintenance cost because you can manage multiple campaigns at once. Cross-account bidding strategies are like portfolio bidding strategies, but they are created at the manager account level and can be shared across multiple client accounts. They're managed exactly like portfolio bidding strategies, except the customer ID in a mutate request should be that of a manager account. Cross-account bidding strategies can only be applied to campaigns owned by client accounts that are part of the manager account's account tree. Pay close attention to the links between the client and manager accounts because these can be modified, which can then affect the behavior of cross-account bidding strategies. Keep in mind that portfolio and cross-account bidding strategies introduce an additional resource to your account that requires ongoing maintenance. Unused bidding strategies can accumulate, making it easy to reach the account limit. So it's best to make sure your account's bidding strategies are up to date. Now, let's set up some bidding strategies, starting with MaximizeConversions. One caveat before I show some examples. Before you can set up a MaximizeConversion strategy, you'll need to have conversion tracking set up and enabled in your account. If you don't recall, I covered how to do this in episode 1 if you want to go back and watch that episode. Now, here's how we would set up a campaign to maximize conversions with a standard bidding strategy type. Since this is a standard bidding strategy, you'll notice that we are configuring it directly on the campaign instance and issuing a single mutate operation for the campaign. And here's how we would set up the same bidding strategy across multiple campaigns using a portfolio strategy. Notice that this requires at least 2 mutate operations, one to create the bidding strategy, and one for each campaign that we want to assign it to. A quick aside, there are different ways to structure mutate requests that include operations for different types. I won't go into detail in this video, but we have an excellent guide on that subject that you should check out. I've included a link in the description. Lastly, if you want to share this bidding strategy across multiple accounts, you can create it using a cross-account strategy. The steps are exactly the same as for a portfolio strategy, except the ID in the request should be for a manager account that is linked to the client account where you want to use the strategy. MaximizeConversion bidding strategy type has 3 subfields that can be used to customize its behavior: target CPA, or target cost per action, CPA bid ceiling micros, and CPC bid floor micros, where CPC stands for cost per click. The target CPA field lets you specify the average amount you'd like to spend per action, where an action is a conversion action, like an online form fill, a store visit, a call, etc. The CPC bid floor micros and CPC bid ceiling micros fields set minimum and maximum bid amounts, respectively. These fields can only be used in portfolio and cross-account bidding strategies. If set on a standard portfolio type, specifically if you set this field directly on a campaign instance, you'll receive an invalid argument error when attempting the mutate request. Note that we typically recommend not setting these two minimum and maximum bid amount fields because they can limit the automatic optimization for your bid. For more details, see the bid limit section in the Target CPC Bidding Help Center article linked in the description. Now, let's set up a MaximizeConversionValue bidding strategy. First, another caveat. In order to use MaximizeConversionValue, you must have conversions enabled and active conversion actions that specify a value. I showed how to create a new conversion action with value settings in episode 1 if you need a refresher. As you can see here, creating a MaximizeConversionValue bidding strategy is very similar to creating a MaximizeConversions bidding strategy, regardless of whether you're using standard, portfolio, or a cross-account approach. The only difference is you need a different bidding strategy instance or subfield. The target ROAS, or target return on ad spend field, lets you specify a target value such that the bidding strategy automatically sets bids to get you as much conversion value as possible for your budget or ROI target. One note, if the target ROAS field is set to be too high, then it can restrict volume. In order to work around this, you may need to uncap the budget associated with this bidding strategy. Similar to MaximizeConversions, MaximizeConversionValue strategies also let you set a CPC bid floor and ceiling in portfolio and cross-account strategies. This is also not recommended for the same reasons I described earlier. To wrap things up, let's take a quick look at reporting. To retrieve metrics for the two bidding strategy types we described in this video, you can use the bidding strategy resource or any other resource where bidding strategy is an attributed resource. For example, the campaign resource also exposes bidding strategy metrics. Reporting is useful when using smart bidding because you can see how different bidding strategies have performed in different campaigns, and then use that information to make adjustments if one strategy appears to perform better than another. If you're using a portfolio or cross-account approach, you can use reporting to see the total number of bidding strategies in your account and how many campaigns are using them, making it really easy to remove unused bidding strategies. To filter for these types of bidding strategies, just include a clause that selects records where the bidding strategy type field equals MaximizeConversions or MaximizeConversionValue. To differentiate between standard and portfolio or cross-account strategies, you need to select different objects. Metrics for standard bidding strategies are attached directly to the campaign object, whereas metrics for portfolio or cross-account bidding strategies are attached to the bidding strategy resource. That wraps up this edition of our video series on smart bidding. Thank you for joining us, and please stay tuned for our next episode where we will discuss more bidding strategy types.